Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing some post-ban Legacy. This is an exciting brew from subscriber Spunky. Spunky basically decided I'm going to play Snowko anyway, even though they banned Astrolabe and Oko. And this is the original list Spunky sent me, and clearly what he's trying to do here is still be a 4-color Snowko deck and play Field of the Dead as a win con. It's dangerous to play a non-basic land as your control deck win con in Legacy because Wasteland decks are going to be able to pick it off. So he has included Crucible of Worlds to bring that back, and Sylvan's Grind to get it when you want it. And while I see what's going on here, and he has clearly planned ahead for Wasteland and what if I don't draw the field in time sort of stuff, I don't think that plan is going to work as well as he hopes. Crucible doesn't do much in this deck other than get back a Field of the Dead that was wastelanded. I also think that the colors just are not going to work here, which is refreshing after playing with Astrolabe for the last year and a half. But this deck has 6 basic lands in it of 4 different colors and no way to filter those basics into different mana. So if I fetch my basic island on turn 1, I am not playing Abrupt Decay for at least 2 turns, period. If I fetch my forest on turn 1, I'm not getting Baleful Strix until turn 3, period. So all of that kind of concerning to me. So I've made some tweaks, and this is the version I am going to play today. The first thing I did, I cut the Sylvan Scrying, the Crucible, the Carpet of Flowers, and the basic Swamp for 4 Abundant Growth. Abundant Growth is the closest thing to Arcum's Astrolabe that's left in the format, and it is much worse, but it is as close as we have. So the differences between Abundant Growth and Arcum's Astrolabe: number 1, you need green mana to play it up front. Like the Snowko play pattern of fetch basic island and play Astrolabe, like you can cast whatever you want off that island, you can still ponder, still brainstorm, whatever, and then you can use your second land drop to cast, Fatal Push or Swords to Plowshares or Red Elemental Blast, whatever. Thanks, Astrolabe. Abundant Growth, you commit to what land you want to make 5 colors. It's not just whichever one is left over when you're done casting spells. This is definitely a worse card. Also, fetching green early is worse than fetching blue early on average in a Legacy deck. But if we want to play 4-color control, you need something to do the work here. I also, because I cut the basic Swamp, I cut the 2 Polluted Delta and turned them into Otted Strand, and then added a second Underground Sea to replace that missing black source, and I added a Savannah because I don't think there was enough white sources in the deck to support Supreme Verdict, which is a very important card. And I picked Savannah over one of the other options because having another green source available for Abundant Growth is important, and every land in the deck should help to cast Uro, because casting Uro is going to be pretty hard on the backside. Blue, blue, green, green is not easy, and unfortunately Field of the Dead, Caracas, and Plains don't help with that. So getting a white source that's also a green source helps with the Uro problem, but we will see how hard that actually is to come back. I made some changes to the sideboard too, just some tweaks. There was a lot of graveyard hate that I don't think we needed all of it. So I cut 2 Spell Bombs for a Null Rod and a Plague Engineer. And then Veil of Summer, there were 2 of them. I turned one of them into Return to Nature. I turned Terminus into a second Carpet because I don't like a random Terminus index. Like, we don't really have a way to set up Terminus. It's just like, I hope it happens when it happens. Like, Jace the Mind Sculptor is the only way we really have to set up a Terminus and like keep it floating for multiple turns. And if we have Jason play for multiple turns, we shouldn't need Terminus. The things on my watch list are Field of the Dead. I left it in because I think it's kind of interesting if we're still trying to be an Uro deck to win by hitting land drops, though a colorless land that comes into play tapped, I have my suspicions about that, especially since it's so comparable to Felidar Retreat, a card that we already have. So this might be better off as just a land that makes mana. And the other thing on my watch list is Jace. I think this might be better as Court of Cunning, but I'm going to try Jace. It's been a long time since we were able to play Jace, and I'm going to do my best with it, see if it performs. So let's get into these games. All right, so I'm going to keep this. I'm on the draw. This has the problem of abundant growth. It has to go onto a non-basic if I want to play it on turn 1. I could fetch basic island with this flooded strand and then abundant growth it on turn 2. That I'm not sure what that would end up doing to my curve. If I want to cast this Baleful Strix on time, I need to put growth on drop on turn 1 and then also fetch a non-basic on turn 2. So I think I'm just going to have to get used to the idea that I'm not going to get to play a lot of basic lands. So I think there's a good chance they strip the abundant growth from this hand with Thoughtseize anyway, because it is the Arkham's Astrolabe. Guess we'll see what's important to them, if they're a combo deck or if they're a Pox deck. A basic Swamp Thoughtseize. This could be Reanimator. I guess it could be something like Ad Nauseam Tendrils. It could also just be like Pox or Depths. There's a number of things it could. If they're Depths, I suspect they would take Teferi. So Baleful Strix also tempting. Wow, they went for Jace. That was not even on my radar. Okay, that was actually a great draw, because now I can ponder and off basic island and then put abundant growth on the basic island next turn, and I don't get blown to hell from a wasteland. But getting your abundant growth land wasted is some shit, let me tell you. So I think I do want this plow, but I'm gonna hide it from discard. Put it second from the top. I found another basic, so now I can basic forest, turn island into a 5-color land. Oh, okay. This is definitely not Reanimator or anything like it. Some sort of Grixis deck. Alright, Field of the Dead might end up being good here. Yeah, I wonder what this is. New meta, who dis? Lots of questions. Is like Grixis control a thing again with the basic lands and the Kolaghan's commands and the Baleful Strixes and the Planeswalkers? Is that where Legacy has come back to? Is this... I don't think it's Doomsday, though all of these cards could conceivably be in Doomsday. Verdant Catacombs is kind of sus, though. This is some sort of like bug mid-range deck. It is not abundantly clear what I'm playing against just yet. So there's a good chance Field of the Dead will actually be good here. If this is like a slow blue Baleful Strix kind of deck. And I'm not going to plow this Baleful Strix right away. I want to... Yikes. Alright, well, that's getting Abrupt Decayed. I want to save this plow in case they have something like Gurmag Angler. So, Abrupt Decay here. Even get to sneak in this Field of the Dead. There is an argument to maybe I should Wasteland, or maybe I should play Fetchland or something to play around a Wasteland going along, but I am kind of into getting this field into play when it didn't affect my curve. Towards the Plowshare is pretty solid. Oh, all right. So I can try to plow, and if it doesn't work, I can abrupt decay. Unfortunately, they're going to end up getting a lot of cards off of that. It is what it is. Do I get the basic planes here, or do I keep it? Because that would make 2 lands in play that don't cast Uro. I think I want the Tundra. Oh, they have a Field of the Dead of their own. I didn't even see them play that. Very sneaky. All right, I'm gonna get Tundra. Crack off a plow here. So they get to draw a card off this. I can't cast. I can still cast Abrupt Decay. I can't cast Strix. So here's a situation where if this was Astrolabe, I could cast Strix or Teferi here, but because I had to commit to turning my blue source into the 5-color source, I don't get to play my blue off-color spells. I can only play my green off-color spell. So now I guess it's just a race to the zombies. Hope they don't have wastelands or land destruction, because I don't. So they do know 2 of the 3 cards in my hand, or they know 3 of the 4 cards. They know the land, Teferi, and Strix. So my Strix can check their Strix. This coming turn, they got a 2-for-1 off of Leovold, so they're slightly ahead right now. They were on the play, and I was on the draw, and we both have 45 cards left in our deck. So they also had Strix, so they've had a number of 2-for-1s they're starting to pull ahead on. Yikes. Is this the mirror? What is happening? I thought this was a brew. All right, so Basic Swamp and Field of the Dead, though, those are not conducive to bringing back Uro. So I think I want to lead on. All right, can I cast 2 spells this turn? I guess is the question I'm trying to answer. So if I go, I don't think so, because my colorless, if I fetch, so I need, this has to make black, or I can fetch, yeah, this green, yeah, this green is essentially colorless for the sake of Strix and Teferi, and the Field of the Dead is literally colorless, so that's not actually going to work. I'll start with Strix then. Yeah, Abundant Growth, a lot worse than Arkham's Astrolabe. Should not come as a surprise, but just pointing out how prevalent that's been in this game already. Didn't get to cast a spell last turn, couldn't double spell this turn. It's going to easily trade off with one of these. That's what they're for. They found the missing land. So they can burrow here. And I have the Abrupt Decay. I also have Teferi. Which one? I think Abrupt Decay is probably better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they hit a land here, they are actually in the money for Field of the Dead. Okay, they didn't. Yeah, I think I just want to Abrupt Decay. An Uro of my own. I'm gonna brainstorm and see if I can improve this hand at all. Turns out not really. Swords to plowshares. I am going to want that eventually. And am I going to want this to Fairy, I guess? It's pretty bad against Field of the Dead, so I'll actually put back to Fairy. And maybe Shark Typhoon. I don't want this right now. Yeah, I'm going to set up, I'm going to use Ponder to probably shuffle this. All right, now it's a race to see who can hit their next land drop first. They have Uro pending. 5 cards in hand. That's a lot. All right, Leo is in. I'm gonna wait till their end step to plow in case they draw a land so they can't hit their land drop right away. Cast Force of Negation, okay. All right, please don't have another one. Okay, so this Leovold has been a monster. They still have a lot of cards in hand. They want to force again. Let's get to Fairy in there. All right, Field of the Dead. Now we're fielding. I'm gonna have to cast this Brainstorm in response to Leovold. It's not gonna be a very good Brainstorm, but it's only gonna be worse once Leovold's in play. Clean off my Teferi here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, they can't quite escape Uro yet. This is weird. Is this what Legacy looks like now? Why are 2 Field of the Dead control decks facing off against each other? Is this just the best way to use Uro? This isn't great. I'll fire off this Brainstorm again, and it's not getting better. Oh, this is bad. I'm not going to be able to draw a card off this Baleful Strix, and then my next 2 cards aren't particularly helpful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I can cast Strix and then hard cast Force on their next thing, but they just need to keep hitting land drops at this point. This Leovold's going to bury me. And them having Uro and me not having Uro is pretty rough. Right. Don't get to draw, but I get a Death Touch creature. And now I'm drawing Force of Will back to back against them making land drops to get on board. Yikes. Even if I draw Uro, I don't get to draw cards off it. It's just gaining life. So one important thing to note here, their deck is very similar to mine, but they're playing less colors, so they get to play a more focused plan. Like their Strix showed up on time. They have Leovold that they've had no trouble casting. And just having less colors, like I had to mess around with this Abundant Growth and they just got on board instead. They also drew Uro and I didn't, which is a big deal. Okay, so Ashiok's probably good. Nile Spellbomb is good. think I like Supreme Verdict to clean up the Uros or the Leovolds. Also, Plague Engineer on Bird isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Carpet of Flowers, Veil of Summer, all have. Carpet is dangerous against Leovold because this does target to make mana equal to the number of islands target opponent controls. And if you don't activate this in your main phase, it targets them again in the second main phase. So that's actually really dangerous against Leovold, but I think the mana advantage is probably worth doing. So what am I cutting? I could just play like it's 2015 and cut all my Force of Wills in a fair matchup. Like without Oko and Dreadhorde Arcanist around anymore, maybe that's reasonable to just try to play to the board. And if so, what else gets cut? And I really wish these Abundant Growths weren't in my deck. Like, I think this deck would be better if we were doing something like the opponent, just playing Bug or just play Bant. Like, pick 3 colors and make it happen. My Wills are out, my Negation definitely will be too. Teferi's pretty medium. Felidar Retreat, I think, is actually very good. This is kind of tough. Maybe I'll go 1 less Plow. They have Leovold and Uro, which are important things to Plow, but I'm bringing in removal from the sideboard and ways to mitigate Uro. Jace, it will be good except when they have Leovold, then it's bad. Actually, Jace is just horrendous against Leovold. So I'll bring these in. Never mind. I'm gonna bring in 1 carpet and leave in the Jace. I think that's reasonable. Yeah, this is kind of tough to board with. Oh, there's my Savannah, not capable of casting Ponder. That's a mulligan. Alright, this is a good hand. Finally. Sure. I'm going to send Jace to the bottom. I don't want him just yet. I'm just looking for my 3rd land, first and foremost. Alright, that's actually great. We found Abundant Growth and the 3rd land. And the 4th land. The turn 1 Thoughtseize again. Yep. Alright, see you later, Ashiok. Yeah, there was no hesitation on that one. Okay, so learning from last game, I think I actually want to Abundant Growth the Forest because Island casts more spells on the front half. Like if I had Abundant Growth to my Forest game 1 instead of my Island, I think I would have been able to cast the Strix and the Teferi on those turns where I just didn't do anything. Alright, big cheese. Let's go. Oh, that's the land I was going to fetch. Great. Okay. There is 1 basic land left in the deck. Yeah, the Snow Forest is still in there. So now I'm not going to fetch just in case I draw Snow Forest. It's better to leave this in case I draw Brainstorm. Sylvan Library, hell yeah. This card's very good. Probably going to get Abrupt Decayed, but okay. It's another card in my graveyard for Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4. If they destroy this, I need to put 1 more card in my bin. If they play a creature, I can plow it. Or they can just Thoughtseize my plow. Hope they can't blow up my graveyard right now. SnUro is gonna get in or it's not. That's the whole plan. Got a little arrow action of their own. All right, patience paid off. Never cracked this fetch land. So now if I brainstorm, can I still Uro? So I'll have green, green, or blue, blue, green, green. Yeah, I can. Does that even make sense? Like if I cast Brainstorm, I might have to put back this land. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hold on to my Brainstorm. All right, green, green, blue, blue. They have Force of Will, and then I have nothing for theirs. Yeah, they're gonna stick Uro to my not Uro. That Thoughtseize ended up being really good, stripping the Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, they also get to play cards like Thoughtseize because their deck is only 3 colors. They can rely on having black mana early. Black is a splash color in my deck. Like I'm basically Simic splashing black and white, and because I'm splashing those colors, I don't get to count on having either early, but they get to play Hand Disruption and I don't. So the card that I'm most worried about right now in their hand is Force of Negation. I guess 1, 2, 3. Right, with these fetch lands, they're almost just back on Uro. Right now I'm worried about Veil of Summer, but I'm still gonna just take this play. I'm not gonna Brainstorm right now. Like drawing Jace or Teferi would be the things that I'd want to slam into play, and I don't have the mana for Jace. Yeah, all they need is just like a Ponder, and they can bring back Uro right now. All right, that was a pretty good draw at this point. Oh wait, they have a third fetch land, so Uro's just coming back right now. What did I miscount? Oh, did they play a fetch land from hand or something? I don't know, but yeah, Uro's just fucking back. Great. Yeah, I've been just thoroughly outmuscled here, and I think the thing that they did that I didn't was cast 2 Thoughtseize. Uh-oh. Alright, so I can put these 2 back. Shuffle, I gotta redraw off Abundant Growth, and it better be Swords to Plowshares or I'm dead. And even then, I'm still under this Sylvan Library and probably still dead. Hello. Oh, too late to the party, Charlie here. Oh, alright. Well, there's that. Now it's Sylvan Library versus my Uro. That was a pretty fortunate series of top decks, not gonna lie. And they blew up my graveyard, is the question now. Show me a shuffle and a pass. Let me have Uro. They did not shuffle. Our set G. Narset found Cling to Dust, are you shitting me? So if I draw a fetch land, I can still put Uro into play, even though I can't draw any cards. Because I have 2 Uros, but I only have 6 total cards in the graveyard, and I would need 7 to navigate this. Once they... I guess they're a long way away from escaping their Cling to Dust, so... Oh. Sylvan Library turned out to be a good card, who knew? Alright, well, I can't draw cards, but I can put this in my graveyard. Felidar Retreat is pretty good. Green, blue, blue. Alright, here we are. So they drew a card off Cling to Dust. They very smartly exiled one of my spells so they could draw a card rather than one of my Uros because I have 2 and they couldn't control that anyway. They did play that very well. His Narset was complete beating though. Not getting the cantrip off Uro, not getting the cantrip off Ponder, finding 2 spells off it. Like, this has been at least a 4 for 1 already. And it's still in play. And yeah, they were hellbent 2 upkeeps ago, and now they have 4 cards in hand. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, they can hard cast Force. Their deck also has discard in it. I'm gonna wait on the retreat. I don't want to lose it to a removal spell. God, Intuition. It really is the Wild West right now. I love it. People can do things like put Intuition in your fair deck. This Intuition will give them what they need. Oh, wow. Yep, can't beat that. Okay, so we've lost to a more focused version of the same deck I'm trying to play. That was a very cool matchup. Next round. On the draw in round 2 with this super reactive hand. I'm gonna mulligan this. This one is actually fine. 2 Ponders and Abundant Growth, even for a 1-lander, I'll take this. So now I'm faced with the decision, do I fetch Island and Ponder, try to find another land, or do I fetch Forest, get my Abundant Growth online, and then work on it from there? Yikes. Alright, well, I'm definitely fetching basics. I'm actually gonna... Oh, this is tough. So there's a good chance, like a deck that goes Wasteland Go is probably gonna go Plains Thalia on turn 2. So I'm gonna start with the island. Try to find a green source. Oh. Oh no. Deck might be betraying me here. Alright, well it's not Thalia. Looks like it's probably Depths. Or just a Loam deck. Some Loam deck. I could Strix here and just put my Underground Sea straight into the graveyard, but I'm gonna look for a green source instead. Not quite the green source I had in mind, but there is an Uro to go with it. Okay, I actually like this. I'll play the fetch land. Then next turn I can fetch, play Uro right away, get ahead on a land drop, be ahead of Wasteland a little bit. Though I don't like this Life from the Loam is already here. Oh, bummer. That loses the Uro. It's fine though. Really. Not gonna let them have it. So this cannot get basic forest. I could try to get Teferi into play next turn, but does that do anything versus just fetching a green source? Alright, I'm gonna keep fetching basics. Miss Astrolabe already. Yeah, the only reason they'd make that line is if they have a second Wasteland. They're just foaming up the first one. So I'm gonna be under Wasteland this entire game. Field of the Dead is gonna do basically nothing. But now I have 2 abundant growths. Don't worry. I'm gonna plus Teferi because I think what I want to do is use Teferi to pick up abundant growth to dig my way out of this. If they have abrupt decay and I don't get the card off Teferi, that sucks. But now they have the entire stage depths combo in the graveyard with their loam. So now they have to decide if they want to keep trying to squeeze me or if they want to make Merit Lage quickly. The way they're sequencing this looks like loam more than okay, but what do I know? Jeez. Hateful deck. Okay. I guess I'll play the Field of the Dead. At least that will make them use their land drop to wasteland me. Yeah, this is a complete nightmare. This is... If these were Astrolabes, this game would be easily under control. Instead, I am just dying. And this is good for the format. It's just bad for me right now. I'm not complaining like, why did they take my Astrolabe? I'm just pointing out the gigantic differences in play patterns right now. So, yeah, this... I think that this deck needs to be not 4 colors. Like my opponent's deck last round was really cool. It was really focused. It had the Field of the Dead. It had the Euro plan, and it wasn't farting around trying to play more colors than it should. I have a basic forest, please. Thank you. Set me free. Forest. Time to go off. All right. It may have taken a moment, but looks like my Astrolabes are getting back online. Set me free. Okay, now I can cast spells. They have 2 loams. There's one in the graveyard already. Is that the one they've been dredging? I feel like I saw 2 at one point, but I've honestly lost track. Because Force of Negation on loam is great, except if they have a second, then it just mostly doesn't matter. So they're gonna port something. I don't really have an instant to play, so that's fine. I'll probably just play Strix this turn. Yeah, I mean, not gonna not play my land. Black, blue, Strix into play. So I could play Abundant Growth and just double up on one of these and get another draw right now. Or I could wait till I find one of my other 2 basics, because I do play 5. So I'm actually gonna wait till I find a basic. Yeah, they just picked up loam and dredged a second one. So wasting them or forcing the loam is only a speed bump. All right, so if I pay for Strix, they get to port me, and I can't Uro. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll pay for Strix. I gotta win this game somehow. All right, drawing a land was big. Now I get to Uro. One of their 2 wastelands that I've seen is still in the graveyard, so they have 1 in their hand. They also have Bajuka Bog in the graveyard. So this Force of Negation might buy me the space I need to get Uro into play. As we'll see. Their deck is super control-y. This is like, I can't tell if this is just old regular lands, but the black mana is not in regular lands. It's like some sort of extra prison-y Jund lands deck. Not on my watch. So they were going for Bajuka Bog, Rishadan Port, and Maze of Ith. Oh yeah, that was actually a good hit. Now I can't bring back Uro. Not gonna pay. Come on, deck, give me the land. Fuck. Yep. Absolutely punished for that. I guess I can still Abundant Growth, Caracas, and hope to draw another land. Yeah, that was my chance to do anything, and it just missed because the deck has too many colors in it. Don't think I can beat this exploration now. Them having the second loam. If I actually clipped their only loam with that Force of Negation, I would feel okay, but this is not gonna work. Now they can Wasteland me and Bajuka Bog me, and yuck. All right, yeah, I'm not gonna win from here. I'm getting used to new Legacy, where Oko isn't the fight. You do have to plan for that late game. It's actually kind of exciting, even though I'm not winning very much. I am enjoying this type of Magic more than what we've been doing for the last year. All right, so my Graveyard Hate and my Pithing Needle are definitely coming in. We saw Mox Diamond, but I don't think I'm going to bring in Null Rod just for Mox Diamond. Supreme Verdict does not seem important. I want some number of Force of Will, and I definitely want Force of Negation for the Exile. Swords to Plowshares. Take a little bit of a break. I guess we saw Abrupt Decay too, so Veil of Summer might have some interest. I wonder if I should just cut the Field of the Dead against the Wasteland deck. So Pithing Needle is likely to name Wasteland. Like if I get them under control, it's still a plan. No, don't love it. And not sure how many Abrupt Decay targets they're gonna have. Baleful Strix is like medium and hard to cast, so I'm gonna do this. Hitting the graveyard. Try to win with one of my sticky permanents. This hand sucks. This one is fine. I think I'm going to send the Force of Will because I don't have a blue card to go with it anyway. Easy Arkham's Astrolabe style play pattern here. Grove, alright. Didn't see any P-Fires in game 1. They milled through most of their deck. It's weird. The classic turn 1. Ox Diamond, loam my shit back. Oh, it's even worse because they had Exploration too. Well, that's actually a complete nightmare. I can port my green source. I can't get my second Abundant Growth in. This is a strong start from them. And they're going to need it because this Ashiok would have been winning the game if they didn't. Let's see if they have the follow-up, like if they have loam to really set this engine off or what the plan is here. Because this is like a pretty strong disruptive turn 1, but how they're going to follow that up is going to matter a lot. Crop rotation. God, are they just Merit Laging me right now? I have Merit Lage covered. That's not a problem. I think they're going to get just like some land and then cast loam here. Or Ashiok. Couldn't live the dream. Alright, so they got Ghost Quarter. Fuck. That sucks. God, and they have the loam too. This is a complete nightmare. And now they can play Ghost Quarter again. That's not actually the worst because, like, do they... I was about to say, are they going to quarter me or are they going to port me? But they can just do both. Holy shit. Yeah, this was among the most insane starts that is even possible from their deck. What the fuck? I think I just lose next turn. Porting my island, so at least I can play Abundant Growth, but it just doesn't matter. Jeez. Yeah, I'm also out of basics, so Ghost Quarter is just full strip mine right now. Had Ashiok in hand on the play, turn 1 Abundant Growth, and still just was not even close. Yeah, I can't win this. That was fucked up. Okay, maybe I'm supposed to have all my Force of Wills just in case they have some busted crop rotation start, but I don't think that's right. I think they just had an insane draw. Though, everything that was good about their deck was good because I'm this awkward 4-color pile. If I were more focused, if I was more reliable at casting my spells, yeah, make this bug or Bant, get rid of a color. Then you can also cut the Abundant Growths, which are super awkward. Just Arkham's Astrolabe is dead. Sorry. I'm on the play against a Yorion deck. I'm gonna keep this. I have the Abundant Growth. This is the most reasonable blue Snowko looking hand that we've had yet. 3 cantrips, all colors of mana, Force of Will to protect it. See if that's any good against this Yorion deck. Could be Death and Taxes, could be Maverick, could be Alurin. A lot of things we could be playing against here. I don't think I need 3 Force of Wills. Put back one of them, and I'll put back 2 of them, whatever. So I think I want to get the Snow Forest and put Abundant Growth on it right away. Kind of wish I had a Yorion the way this game's going. See, are they going to Abrupt Decay and Abundant Growth? Oh yeah, I have the plow for that. So I want the Force of Will in hand and the Uro on top. So the Force, I can pitch Force, I get to keep my Ponder, then next turn I can Uro, make 2 land drops and cast Ponder, and then I have Uro ready for the next turn. Nice Wasteland. Yeah. It's possible that there I'm supposed to just let them have it and assume Uro is more powerful than whatever they're going to do. I'm going to get my plains so I can leave up one of my 5-color lands. They could plow Uro here. Sylvan Library is hot. There is another basic in the deck. That's the whole bang of basics. All right, this deck is looking pretty good this time. Turn 4 Once Upon a Time. Probably not what you're looking for. Mother of Runes, all right. Exile. All right, let's go bananas here. I'm going to pay the max. And blue. Oh, bummer. Just noticed that my green sources are also my 5-color sources. Astrolabe would have made this so much. Pretty sure that getting Uro into play is more important than answering this Mother of Runes right away. So I get the Uro draw, then I can ponder. I guess I'm supposed to ponder first in case I hit the extra land drop. But I can still find a Swords to Plowshares here. There's a bunch of extra land drops that Uro would have loved to make, so I definitely missequenced that. Okay. That turn could have been played better. Abundant Growth, once again, much worse than Arkham's Astrolabe. Like, if these were Astrolabes, I could have brought back Uro, played Abundant Growth, played Abrupt Decay. They would have nothing on board. GG. But instead, here we are. So that Uro drew 2 cards and gained me 6 life, and then I have another one in hand, and got a card out of their hand, so Uro was a good deal. I got to draw extra cards off Sylvan Library, and I'm still at 20. Yep. Still paying the max all the time, no respect. All right, I'll try to sequence correctly this time. So if I fetch a green source here at Tropical Island. Then I can turn this plains into a 5-color land. And this getting this extra draw, okay, now I can ponder, looking for another extra land. I'm just trying to hit my extra lands off of Uro at this point. All right, blue, blue, Uro. So this Uro is going to draw another abundant growth, and I can turn another one of my basics into 5-color land. Green, 5-color land. And black, blue for Baleful Strix. All right, Value Town. So at this point, I have so many lands in play that this Wasteland's not even going to do anything. All right, they can destroy my Sylvan Library at least. All these, having 4 Abundant Growths trying to take me off Abundant Growth doesn't make sense, but Library is definitely burying them right now. So I think I want to Brainstorm first. This Supreme Verdict is going to be pretty good at some point, if I ever need it. Oh my god, Field of the Dead, hello. Okay, so here's new plan. Supreme Verdict's going into the deck. Abrupt Decay is going into the deck. Uro's coming back into play. Uro's gonna trigger Field of the Dead, then I'm gonna play Bayou as my land drop for the turn. So green, green, blue, blue. All right, now Wasteland has a target, but I'm gonna get 2 zombies before that happens. I can destroy the Mother of Ruins if I want to sink a ton of resources into it, but I don't think I care. I am actually going to shuffle this. Oh yeah, Shark Typhoon. All right, let's do this. 2 of my Force of Wills are gone, so I'm trying to think of what happens if they plow my Uro. Wow, can't even afford to Wasteland the Field of the Dead. Try to Brainstorm to hit another land drop off of Uro. Like we're getting there. Get there. If they use Mom defensively, I get to unlock all this removal in my hand. Yeah, they're just dead. All right, into the sideboards. Looks like we're playing some sort of Abzan Yorion Maverick deck. I assume Containment Priest is going to be good. Plague Engineer is going to be good. Supreme Verdict, Ashiok. For the Searching Clause, not necessarily the Graveyard, but they both could come up. Return to Nature is pretty solid. I think Needle could be good. Like I could name Mother of Ruins, Knight of the Reliquary, Stoneforge Mystic, some equipment. And Veil of Summer, I assume they have Abrupt Decays in their deck. If they have the colors they have, they might even have discard spells. So Force of Negation, Force of Will, Force of Will. Actually don't think Shark Typhoon very good. I actually think Field of the Dead is going to be pretty bad in this matchup because they are a Wasteland deck, but they're also a Yorion deck, so I guess we'll see how that goes. All right, return to Veil of Summer. Can get shaved. I want some forces left in the deck. I do want to be able to control what hits the board at least a little bit. Teferi's not super important in this matchup. I do want Ashiok, Verdict, Beast Engineer. Yeah, I do want all those cards. I think that Shark Typhoon will be good for a blowout at some point. Strix is very good against this kind of deck. Uro's great. Bummer. Maybe it is one less force and Shark Typhoon. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. In some trouble to Athalia, but I'm on the draw with a Bonder, and turn 2 Sylvan Library is ready to go. These plows are good in the matchup. The way that I lose this game is by my colors not coming together. The Mother of Runes was a good find, flanking these plows. Right deck, shit. Like I said, colors not coming together. I'm gonna shuffle this because I think finding a green source is more important than anything else right now. Library, uh-oh. All right, now they're in the library. Green source? Not a green source. Try to find one. Nope. Got there. Easy. Were you worried? I wasn't. I'm lying. Right, this library is pretty scary. That is the type of thing that can outmuscle my control plan. So I am going to get to Uro and make a land drop this turn. Something like Rest in Peace would cut off a lot of my best options, but I think I'm just going to have to deal with that. Oh, Choke is also pretty good. All right. Good thing I Abundant Growth the forest and not the island. Now I need an Abrupt Decay or the Return to Nature. I did board that in, right? Yeah. All right. I cut one to Fairy, but everything else in my deck that can answer a choke is in the deck. So I'm going to cast Sylvan Library this turn. I just have to figure out how. I can fetch a basic plains off of this, but this can get black. But I guess this is already black. Actually, I'm going to use the Vista to get plains, because the Flooded Strand finding the green or black source if I draw an Abrupt Decay is going to be pretty important. So yeah, I get plains with this. There are a number of lands. There's Field of the Dead, Caracas, Forest, Snow Forest, and Plains, and Savannah, and Bayou. So there's at least 7 lands in my deck that are not islands. Maybe the 4-color meta base is actually good in this spot. Uh-oh, Ramanap. Another mom. All right, this is a good time to find a Supreme Verdict. That's so fucked up. All right, that's why I kept this for the black source. So Do I go to 11 here is the question. I think I do. So it is awkward that, all right, I'm gonna actually put the ponder back and I'll pay for the black cards. So I'm gonna use the Flooded Strand to Abrupt Decay choke. Then I can pivot and hit them with the engineer next turn. And I'm doing this now to play around Veil of Summer. So if they have Wasteland or a second choke, I guess Wasteland doesn't matter because I still have black sources. I don't want a Pithing Needle Mother of Runes right now because then they know that they can attack. Like, I don't want to get attacked for 4 for no reason when these are going to die anyway, when I could just be attacked for 2. And saving the needle for something like Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh, they're at 5. They've been pretty aggressive with this library. Solid Wasteland there. Ooze, okay. Yep, that's something that I would like to kill. Okay, this turn is going to end up being pretty good, I think. Because the Plague Engineer will unlock my plows, and then I can plow Raminep Excavator in their upkeep, take them off this Wasteland loop they've got. Of course, I could just find Supreme Verdict right now. There's 2 of them in the deck, and I'm about to look at 3 cards. That would be bananas. Right, that's not Supreme Verdict. I will put back 2 of these. All right, name human here. Didn't even give anything protection in response. So they figured it doesn't matter, but I don't know if I agree with that. I'm gonna plow this before it can waste me. So they can equip Sword of Fire and Ice next turn, but I can block and trade with whatever they equip. If they have land removal spell, they can actually connect with the sword. But that means I'm not getting wasted this turn. So if they do connect with sword, it means they don't have Wasteland, or they're not able to use Wasteland at least. And I'll take that. I don't think they have a way to play multiple lands. At least not in a way that matters right now. That's pretty good though. I still have 2 white sources for these 2 plows though, to clean out these creatures. Sure. Okay, I mean, this is actually fine. Put that on top. And I actually am going to pay to keep my land drops coming. And I can get Bayou with this. I'm going to get rid of the ooze right now. And then I can wait and think about what I want to do with Stoneforge Mystic. I have this fetch land and brainstorm right now. Uro is here too. Pretty good setup, considering how devastating a lot of this is gone. Night of Autumn. Okay. So let's see if they go after library or growth. This is actually a more interesting decision than it was last game. I kind of hope they go after library, honestly. Okay. You. Okay, so I can brainstorm now or wait till my turn. I know that Containment Priest is the top card. I don't actually want that, so I am going to fetch now, get a shuffle at least. I think I want Bayou and not Savannah. And my black cards are pretty good here. Alright, so I do have 4 mana. So I can Uro and then also Pithing Needle or Plow as needed. So if I start with if I play Underground Sea, then it's stuck under choke. Guaranteed. If I Uro first, I could hit a fetch land that can get Savannah, and then I can have a Plow or... Alright, I'm gonna go with Uro first. On fetch land. Alright, didn't find a fetch land. Okay, though. So they're going to activate Stoneforge Mystic in response. But unless their mystery card in hand is Batterskull, that's fine, because I just named Sword. Okay. Sword of Fire and Ice. I'm not going to name Stoneforge Mystic because they can just play an equip sword, even if Mystic is off. This is close, but it's a good game. All right, the sword's in play, so if they find a way to answer Bathing Needle, they can start ranching. Hard to believe this was a game where they had turn 2 Sylvan Library and I didn't, and it's now turn 8 and we're still playing, and it's close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can put me to 2 if they can remove my needle. They did not take an extra card. Alright, I have the Knight covered with Plow. I think I want to Ponder. Found the Savannah, that's fucking hot. Savannah. My Plains into a 5-color land. And I want to get rid of this Knight before it gets to activate. I don't like giving them 6 life when they have Sylvan Library, but I don't want them to just be able to Knight and start wasting and Bajuka bogging and shit. Oh no. They had the Batterskull. I'm dead on board. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they just had me checkmated. The Knight was lethal and so was the Batterskull. So, perfect 2 cards. What are you going to do about that? Alright, so maybe Teferi's better than I gave him credit for. And we've now seen 2 chokes and Sylvan Library. Maybe Force of Will's better than I gave it credit for too. Needle was like okay, but not phenomenal. I'm sure they have Grainstone Zeniths, but I am gonna probably shave on the Priest here. That's insane. Priest is so good here. Alright, keeping Priest. Maybe Teferi does suck. Jace probably isn't great. Now that I know they have all these chokes and on top of their normal mana denial, so Jace not particularly reliable. Now I have 2 forces plus my removal. That's twice as many counter spells for something like Choke. Nullrod, they are a Stoneforge Mystic deck. I haven't seen an Aether Vial. I'd be a little surprised if they play that card in their 80 card deck, but I mean, I guess anything's possible. So they do seem to be Maverick and not Death and Taxes, like on the Maverick side of deck building. I like the verdicts, like the arrows. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Basically just brought in a force over Jace. I'm gonna get basic island and try to find a green source to turn my basic island into a 5-color land. There's no way I'm fetching for like tropical island and making a 5-color non-basic against the wasteland deck. Not gonna happen. And Plague Engineer and Abrupt Decay, both phenomenal cards here. That is a green source, technically. But I'll grab the Force of Will just to get ahead of any chokes type shenanigans. I only play 2 of them, so I'll take the one I get when I can get it. I can fetch a green source here. I think I want Bayou. Oh, I can't fetch Bayou with this land. That doesn't work. So I'll just get a tropical island. Yeah, trop. Make a 5-color land. Alright, cool. There's a basic forest coming up. I can force a choke this turn if I need to. I actually don't have to. I have the Abrupt Decay, so I can save my forest. For 2. Scavenging Ooze? I don't know. Gaddock Teague, maybe? Whatever. Abrupt Decay will kill it, whatever it is. Little bum they didn't have a bunch of Mother of Ruin this game because Noble Hierarch is also a human for this Plague Engineer. So I think I'm just going to engineer naming human. I'm not going to Uro straight into this Scavenging Ooze. I don't want to waste an Abrupt Decay on an Ooze this early. Yeah, I'm just going to name human. That kills Noble Hierarch. It proactive against Thalia or Mother of Ruins. Does put a creature in the graveyard for Ooze, but I think that's probably fine. Knight of the Reliquary, also a human. Allowing that. Yeah, that's okay. And this Force of Will is on choke duty, and basically nothing else. Depending on my draw, I am likely to pivot into... Oh, okay. I can actually... Yeah, this works. So, Uro. This can fetch Bayou, so I'm going to go blue, colorless. Here's Uro. Uro, if I stack this so the land comes into play first, then I can Abrupt Decay before the Uro dies. Green. Now Uro is ready to show up next turn. I even have the Force if they have Veil of Summer. Okay. Stable board, threatening Uro. That's fine. Right, Cradle and Sword of Light and Shadow. Both two powerful cards, assuming you have any creatures in play, which they currently don't. Surgical, what's this pause? So blue, green. So I can brainstorm to give me card number 5 and still Uro. Yeah, I'm gonna use Underground Sea to do it. I don't think I'm gonna need a black card this turn. Put back this and this. Green. I should use that for blue now that I have Savannah. Blue, blue. I draw and fire the land on top of my deck into play. Was there a way to do this where I can cast Baleful Strix this turn? I don't think I even want to. I want the Force of Will. So I'll force whatever their removal spell is, unless it's Abrupt Decay, because I can't. Vraska, Golgari Queen. Bang. Now Uro is chunking. Getting in there like swimwear. Should probably evoke the second Uro just to keep velocity moving forward. Keep this one. That's a pretty good card. I'm tapping in ways that make sure I can still cast all my spells and trying to mitigate effectiveness of choke. So they have 2 cards in hand over there. I have 2 removal spells plus Sylvan Library. Kaya, Ghost Assassin. Exile Kaya, Ghost Assassin, or up to 1 target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you lose 2 life. So they can blink my Uro, which dies, but I draw a card. Each opponent discards a card, and you draw a card. Opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Okay. Sure. This does take the pressure off them immediately. But I do get to draw cards, and they lose 2 life out of the deal. And that card under its owner's control. The beginning of your next upkeep. Okay, got it. Keep them all. I have this much life to work with. I'm just going completely insane off of with the library. Alright, so I can't play 2 lands this turn, and I don't think I need 3 plows in hand. So Uro's gonna come back, gonna pick up the land I just put on top and put it into play. Oh, whoops, I didn't put the land on top. Shit. Wanted that. Okay. Containment Priest is pretty interesting with them having Kaya in play. Alright, so I'll discard this Swords to Plowshares, that's fine. Just fueling Uro. Plague Engineer. Yeah, I can kill that. Doesn't matter, I'm just killing it, but yeah, they meant to say zombie. Clicked ape. Okay, so pretty sure I want to flash in Priest and pressure Kaya. Hope their last card in hand isn't Plow. Oh, yes, 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 yes. That should shut the door here. All right, so I'll attack Kaya, see if they have the Plow. Right, they have the Plow, no big deal. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can Uro. 1, green, green, blue, blue. There's that, and then Fairy or Ashiok. Probably Ashiok because they play Stoneforge Mystic, Green Sun Zenith. Like they have so many ways to pay that off, but Abundant Growth first. Then I can ponder and still do everything else I want. Oh, there's the money. Right. Bang. Okay. I just have to now defeat them with 4.5 minutes on my clock, but I think Felidar Retreat should get it done. Right, Yorion's in hand. So I have Uro arriving in their upkeep, so if I find 2 lands here, I can stack them in a way that Felidar Retreat does pay off the max. Just continue paying life like a complete maniac. Gotta find a land drop before any of this matters. Right, there's one. 2, 4. I'm not sure if I'm clicking correctly at this point. I'm just trying to get things into play before I lose. Black, blue. And Teferi. Teferi's gonna bounce one of my abundant growths. Right. So Uro's gonna come back, put in Misty Rainforest, make a cat, fetch, make a cat. Got 4 minutes on the clock, 3:54. Should be plenty with Felidar Retreat. See you later, Uro. Have to be a little bit careful. Not even sure what fetchable lands are left in my deck. I think most of them are in play already. There is a basic island still in there. Not sure if Ponder was the right card to discard, but it's what happened. There's Yorion. Let me see what lands are left. Can I plow this? Guess not. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so there's one land left in the deck. Or at least one fetchable land. There could be more fetch lands. Keep it all as usual. Plow, is plow what I want? No. Plus to ferry. Trophy this. Black. I just need to find a land off Brainstorm, and that's the game. Okay, we did it. Sort of clicking like crazy right now. Plus one plow. Counter on my critters. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Back with everything. GG. Well, that was crazy. That was an awesome game. Next round. On the play for round 4, I'm going to keep this. Doesn't have basic island or any sort of growth effect, but I am going to play Ponder off of Trop on turn 1. This gives me the chance to abundant growth my basic plains on turn 2. Hey, that's exactly what's about to happen. Cool. All right, so I guess I want to draw the Force of Negation and then the abundant growth in that order. Another Verdant Catacombs. We've played against a lot of Verdant Catacombs in this league. That's a land we haven't seen in a long time. Turn 1, B-Storm. This is definitely a combo deck. Yeah, Underground Sea, Brainstorm. Only combo decks do that shit. And I'm over here still trying to play Snowko, and they're just like, fuck yeah, combo time. That is scary though, because when you Brainstorm on turn 1, it usually means you're only one card away from going off. So I can definitely see a world where I get like Thoughtseize, Dark Ritual, Doomsday here. Wishclaw, Talisman. I'm going to bounce out with Teferi. Save my force. But we are playing against the Epic Storm. Ooh, that might be better. But I can use Teferi at least as a little tempo play. Let them replay their Wishclaw, then I'll kill it next turn. I draw a card along the way. Normally the Epic Storm is trying to untap with Wishclaw Talisman. Uh-oh. Or they're just going for it. What's going on here? Wishclaw. Yeah, I should have responded to that. Oh no. Oh, they're just doubling up. Sure. Oh, I probably should have countered the second one and then trophied the first one. Whoopsies. So with this Strix, now I can brainstorm and see if I can get a better hand than this, because I have another blue card. I am gonna brainstorm here. Try to turn the Swords to Plowshares into something helpful. Right, another force and another blue card. All good stuff. So I can hardcast Force of Negation, or I could zap one of these Wish Claws, and then I have double force still up. That makes sense to me. Their swamp's already in play, so that was just straight up disenchant. Like, the scariest thing they can do is cast Veil of Summer right now. Yikes. Alright, so they're just on the mono Wishclaw plan. I'll have to cash those in at some point. Good news is I can just fetch my best lands because they're not going to mess with my mana base at all. What are my best lands, though? My whole hand is blue and black. Just some blue source is going to be good here. Yeah, Trop seems as good as any. Gonna have to win this game eventually. So play a Strix. Decay another one of these. Teferi is keeping Veil of Summer in check right now in a pretty big way. They can still do the start of the turn sorcery speed Veil and make sure their stuff resolves. Not a fight I want to have to fight. But they don't really play discard because they play Veil. I feel like we're doing pretty good here. Teferi is ready to pop off again, though I'm not going to pop him off if he's still going to leave play for it. Ad nauseum. Not on my watch. Nice. So I can attack, pick off the final Wishclaw. I'm still holding up hardcast Force of Negation. All these removal spells. Found targets against Epic Storm. I love to see it. They've already used their Ad Nauseam, which is plan A. The Epic Storm is trying to resolve Ad Nauseam as often as possible. That's generally their plan. Wow. Exiling Burning Wish to Chrome Mox when you already have 5 mana. They must be trying to echo. Yeah. And I have the perfect counter. The exile one. All right. We take those. All right, so Null Rod definitely coming in. This is literally why you play Null Rod. Flusterstorm, Deafening Silence. Plague Engineer in case they go Goblins. This turns off Wishclaw Talisman. Veil of Summer beats Tendrils. Dovin's Veto is just a counterspell. This destroys Wishclaw Talisman. This turns off Wishclaw Talisman. That's a lot of cards coming in, but that's okay because I have a lot to bring out. So Swords to Plowshares, no thank you. Felidar Retreat, nope. Grim Verdict, nope. What else is medium? Teferi is pretty medium. Shark Typhoon is a threat I can deploy at instant speed, so I like that. I'm gonna have to win this game somehow. Like, Jace and Shark Typhoon, are they enough? Like, can I just... Is not losing enough here? An Uro is pretty good, because he pulls me ahead on resources and just floats that threat out there. I might not need Abundant Growth because I can just fetch recklessly for perfect mana. Gotta cut 2 more cards here. Maybe I don't need all 3 Uros. Teferi shutting down Veil of Summer is pretty nice, but it's also pretty medium. Alright, see you later, Teferi. and get in all of these sideboard cards. That seems reasonable. Not very many win cons, but if we just don't die for long enough, I think we can count that as a win. Gonna keep his hand. It's got a force in it, and then some other stuff. Now it has 2 forces in it. I'm not gonna ponder right away because if they go for something on turn 2, I want to be able to fight over it and fluster their Veil of Summer. I have no problem pitching Baleful Strix. Or is not good anyway. Good thing I didn't ponder. Maybe I should have Force of Willed the defense grid, because negation is better against Echo. And I can get to hard casting Force of Negation a lot faster. So I think that actually was a small mistake. I think I should have Force of Willed. Oh, GG. Not gonna matter. Alright, so if this Ponder finds a blue card, I definitely win. And if it doesn't, I still probably win. Oh, Tundra, or I have a lot of Savannah or Tundra. Savannah gets me my second green. Tundra is my third blue. I don't think I need my third blue more than my second. You play Taiga, I play Savannah. We both are living the dream over here. And that's their turn. Guess they can make a land drop, but Deafening Silence is crushing against the Epic Storm. Not quite as crushing as Null Rod, although I guess they're probably pretty comparable, actually. So I'm just going to hold on to this force for like a long time. Until I find another blue card. I'm not going to cycle the Typhoon. Alright, so now I can make a 2-2 and start beating down and still have force. Plus the draw off the Shark Typhoon is a big deal, because if that finds land number 5, then I can have a 2-2 in play, untap, holding up hardcast force. Then I get to keep my Brainstorm around. Wouldn't it be funny if I beat the Epic Storm using Field of the Dead? What a strange world that would be. There's the land for force. Dovin's Veto. Get out of my house. This game made possible by not casting Ponder on turn 1. Do they have an Abrupt Decay? Nope. Cool. Yep, they're just getting their mana into play in the hopes of someday doing anything. My god, I'm about to make a zombie with Field of the Dead. My next land drop makes a zombie. So do I aggressively Brainstorm for the land drop? I don't think I do. Alright, so how can they punish? If I abundant growth, then I can't counter a spell, but I can still counter spells on their turn. Oops. Get a little greedy here. It's definitely right to just pass the turn, but I'm going to try to make a zombie. On creature spell. Alright, I'm not going to cast Uro. I do still want to hold up my counters. So I guess I could have Uro'd and still had Dovin's Veto up. Yeah, I probably should have just Uro'd. I'll brainstorm in the end step. I can't double spell anyway, might as well enjoy myself. Okay, yeah, that's fucked up. I'm gonna attack them for 2, make a bunch of zombies off Field of the Dead. Also Uro and Null Rod them. All while still holding up Force of Will. Remember that time I said it would be funny if we killed the Epic Storm with Field of the Dead? Well, it's happening, team. I can do all of this and still hold up Dovin's Veto. Bang. I'm not sure how they can win this game at this point. I'd be pretty impressed if they figure it out. They're just drawing a card with Veil of Summer. Yep, and they're dead. All right, defeated the Epic Storm. 2-2, on to the final round. On the play in the final round, I've kept this hand. It's got Abundant Growth off Basic Forest on turn 1. Don't quite know what this hand does yet, but it does have its mana under it, at least. I'm actually going to fetch the Snowland first, because there might be some value in bluffing Icefang Coatl, which getting Basic Forest doesn't do. I hope Swords to Plowshares is good against their deck. Let's hope they're Delver and not a combo deck. Bottomed. Get basic planes and put a growth on it. Sylvan Library, finally. This hand's going somewhere. If they're a combo deck, it might not matter. Preordained Ponder off Island, Snow Island. So I'm not sure if that matters. If that means anything anymore. If they are Doomsday, Assassin's Trophy can make them shuffle their deck, which may or may not mess them up. I guess they can decline. Controller may search. Okay, yeah, they can just decline to search. None of that matters. Take it all back. Uh-oh. Now so they're certainly a combo deck, and now they know that my hand sucks. Time to draw Brainstorm or Force of Negation. Oh, that was interesting. Taking Assassin's Trophy over Library. They must know something I don't. They know something I don't. It's called the contents of their hand and deck. So are they like show and tell? So I don't know. But not what show and tell decks generally look like. Taking Assassin's Trophy is really interesting, unless they're planning on winning this turn, which is a reason to take Assassin's Trophy. Or if they kept with the Ponder and really needed the card that was on top of their deck. Or my hand was just so irrelevant that it doesn't matter. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to have to do it this turn because Sylvan Library here. And it's gonna get nasty. Three of a kind against the least relevant possible matchup. Alright, this looks like Doomsday to me. It could be some Tendrils deck too. I don't know what Ad Nauseam Tendrils looks like now. It's been so long since I played against the deck, nobody knows. Okay, this could be Ant. It's not Doomsday. I think it is just Ad Nauseam Tendrils. What a world. Or are they gonna reveal? Did they misclick? What is this pause? Okay, no, they didn't. They were just trying to figure it out. Okay, so they're probably just gonna get Ad Nauseam here, unless Past in Flames is lethal on its own. I don't think Past in Flames is lethal. Oh, they do. So, oh yeah, they have Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual. That's 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they have Tendrils for Xaxes. Okay. Fair enough. Alright, Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Unfortunate that this is the deck I drew 3 Swords of Plowshares against, but that's why there's a sideboard. So Veil of Summer, for sure. Yo, Ashiok. This deck cares about both searching their deck and their graveyard, so that's hot fire. Null Rod and Spellbomb. Ad Nauseam cares about their graveyard a lot more than the Epic Storm does. I didn't bring in Spellbomb against TES, but I'm going to bring it in here. And Return to Nature is on my options list. I don't think it's as good as or as potent as the rest of the cards, but it's not bad. So, Swords of Plowshares. See you later. I ended up cutting Abundant Growths against the Epic Storm, and I think that's reasonable. Felidar Retreat, go. Saved it to Fairy. What I take out is going to look pretty similar. What I bring in is slightly different. I think I shaved an Uro also, and a Strix. K and Trophy. We did see Wishclaw Talismans when they discarded their hand to LED. So maybe I do want to Needle Wishclaw. What do I cut if I do that? The other Teferi? Verdict probably. Yeah, Serene Verdict. Here. Okay, so with just Plague Engineer, I'm pretty skinny to like a medium-sized goblin, but I have so many hateful permanents that I'm hoping to stop that from happening in the first place. Not very many win cons, though. When I lock it down, it's going to have to stay locked. Kind of fun to run into Ad Nauseam Tendrils in the wild. Been a long time. So 5 forces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 super hateful permanents. I'll keep this. As long as they don't turn 1 me. Actually, I can hold up Veil of Summer and it just doesn't matter. This is what people said when Veil of Summer was printed, that it's so good against Ad Nauseam, and that's true. So what I'm going to do is Abundant Growth, the Underground Sea. Just hold up Veil of Summer for another turn, and then hopefully I can Null Rod with Veil Protection in the future. Because if I can get Null Rod into play and they can't decay it or can't bounce it with Chain of Vapor or whatever, then that's going to be a pretty good situation. And I have Force Blue card plus Veil right now. Pretty solid. Used to be. All right, grabbing a second Cabal Ritual. On deck, give me a land. Nice. I'll get the island. Elrod may or may not do anything, but just getting their hand empty with LED is pretty important to them. If I draw a land, oh, Brainstorm's good. Yeah, Brainstorm. Fairy doesn't matter. And what else isn't the best? To nature, maybe? Though that's another angle of attack. So if I put bricks on top, play this, and then if I grow this, that replaces the blue card in my hand with the Strix, and I still have Jace. And all right, yeah, this gives me the most different points of interaction. Like I can fight them on the stack, I can veil myself against tendrils, I can protect my Null Rod from removal, and I can hit their graveyard. If I can play Jace with Veil still up at any point, I'm gonna absolutely slam that. All right, we did it. Here's Jace. Brainstorm mode. I'm not gonna plus them and get stifled by Veil of Summer. They like pivoted into a Hull Breacher plan. Die so fast. So made our move. Oh, Deafening Silence. Hello. Gonna hide the Brainstorm and Deafening Silence on top in that order. So they have to beat Null Rod and Force of Will this turn, but the Veil shields are down. It's actually a little bit scary right now. If I can get to my next turn and play this Deafening Silence, I think I'm gonna be okay, but that might be a big ask. Like knowing that they have double Cabal Writ is pretty scary. Like they have access to a shitload of mana with even avoiding Null Rod. Upkeep Dark Ritual. Why didn't you go to your main phase or at least draw for turn? I think they may have gotten disoriented. I can't think of a reason to do this, honestly. That's pretty awkward. Especially if they want to cast any sorceries, like Past in Flames. Yeah, I think this was a misclick. That sucks. Shaping up to be a pretty exciting game. Yeah, they just lost their Dark Ritual, lost the mana. Ouch. All right, so I'm gonna plus them with Jace. No, they can keep that. They can keep anything that doesn't answer Null Rod, basically. So how much mana do I have? I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can Strix, Deafening Silence, and still hold up Return to Nature. All right, that's pretty strong. Yeah, they're dead. That sucks with the Dark Ritual. I feel like they might have had a play to make and just lost track of what phase they were in. Okay, does anything change? They've seen my hate now. They've seen basically everything. They've seen Null Rod, Deafening Silence, and Veil of Summer out of me. Guess they haven't seen Pithing Needle or Spell Bomb. They haven't seen Ashiok though. Ashiok is my most potent thing they haven't seen yet. I don't think my deck gets any better. Yeah, let's go. The only thing I could do is bring in one of the Supreme Verdicts in case they go for like some quick goblins on the play. I'll try this. The one lander is a little scary, but on the draw, I have Force Will and Veil in this hand against Ad Nauseam Tendrils. Like, that's not a ship. Abundant Growth was an excellent draw. That means I can hold up Veil of Summer this turn, and then Abundant Growth something next turn. Unless I want to just Growth right now, leave the shields down for a turn, just count on Force Will to get the job done. I don't think I want to do that. If you watch any of my content, any of my videos, you know that I'm pretty generous with what I'm willing to trust to the top of my deck when it comes to hitting land drops, like so. So I'm gonna Growth my island. Okay. Veil of Summer and Force of Will available. Gotta find a way to win the game, but gotta not lose the game first in this matchup. Yeah, I can play Strix next turn. Like leaving up Veil plus Force now that I have my third land, getting Strix into play, starting at least working away their life total a little bit. Every time Strix connects, that's one less cantrip they can draw off Ad Nauseam. This is where they play Dark Confidant. Full pivot. Get me real good. Press. No. So they could have Flusterstorm. All right, they didn't. So I've had Veil in the sideboard games both of the times where it was immediately relevant, which is kind of exciting because they may think I'm playing a lot more of them than I actually am. So blue, black. I'll get my Strix into play here. Oh, wait, shit. Did I tap wrong? This one. All right, blue, black. Ooh. Do I play Needle, naming Wishclaw Talisman, or do I continue representing Veil? I'm going to represent Veil, because Wishclaw Talisman is usually a 2-turn line anyway. Like, I'll make them show it to me. It would cost all their mana to play and activate the thing. And then they still have to get through Force of Will after all of that. But they're thinking really hard now. There's a Talisman. Hope I don't die to it immediately. Alright, cool. That worked out how I thought it would. I love when a plan works. Wish. Now I have Force Blue card, Force Blue card. And one of them's Brainstorm. Enchanted Swarm. Alright, I can decay that thing. Yeah, they don't have green mana up right now to protect it with Veil. I think Ponder's better than Brainstorm, though turning Plains into a spell. This is pretty close, actually. I don't think I'm going to need Plains. Plains and Tundra can both go into the deck. I'll fetch the Tundra right back out. I'm going to have this target itself. Nice. Yeah, I was just looking for one of the silences or null rod type effects there and found it. I would have pondered digging for deafening silence if I didn't find null rod right away. And now Wishclaw Talisman is double lockdown. They still have a lot of cards in hand though. Always worried. Yeah, okay. So they had to spend that on that. Just trying to overload their answers at this point. So ponder, let's find deafening silence. I'll take a Dovin's Veto. We have a win condition, kinda. So I can hardcast Force of Negation, or I can hardcast Dovin's Veto, and either way I have Pitch Force still up. Now that I've untapped, I can hardcast Dovin's Veto and Force of Negation, while still holding up Force of Will. If they have an answer to Pithing Needle, I can trophy their Talisman in response. That does get blown out by Veil of Summer, but can't play around it. I'm not going to Brainstorm this turn. So maybe I should. No, I am going to Brainstorm this turn. I was going to not do it because then I lose my 5 mana, but if I find the land, then I have the 5 mana again. So let's go. And I don't really need or want Assassin's Trophy here. Okay, didn't find the land, but found a lot of forces and blue cards. And I found a way to speed up the clock. The real important thing there. So I missed my land drop, so they know that my hand is 6 spells. Make a 2/2, triple this clock from a 14 turn clock to a 5 turn clock. This is their end step, so it's a 4 turn clock. Ponder's worth casting. Lands are good. I don't think lands are that good. Or though, maybe they are. Yeah, my hand's already completely bananas, and this will get field online. Alright, yeah. I have a lot of counter spells right now. They have 7 cards in hand. Time to make a move. Are they going to end step ad nauseum? That's fun. So I'm going to toe this. They're going to Veil of Summer, and then I'm going to Force of Negation. Alright, I have 1 force left. If they can go off again through another force, they got me. When I untap, I'll have Hardcast Force plus Pitch Force available. Oh, good luck with that. Alright, so now I only have Hardcast Force available and not Pitch Force. Playing this land does not add to the clock, and it gives them perfect information. I'm not sure if playing this land is correct, though it does turn off a fetch land. It turns off fetch land and Thoughtseize as cards they can play. Uh-oh. Definitely just... Like if they have Past in Flames with Veil of Summer backup, or they could just, like, Tendrils, maybe. Bunch of Gobos. Whatever it is, it's the last card in their hand, so that's good news. Past in Flame. Fuck. Getting punished by that Force of Negation. So they can Thoughtseize and Arrest me out of the graveyard. If I force here, what happens? So they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana left to go again. Yeah, I think they might have figured this one out. I have to force though, or else they just go nuts for free. And they sequenced that correctly. There wasn't a spot for me to Assassin's Trophy their Lion's Eye Diamond. All right, well, there's the Past in Flames. I haven't actually done the math. I'm just going to leave it up to them. I've done what I can do. They're at 6, so Ad Nauseam's not very good. They don't have a tutor. They can Abrupt Decay my Needle. So maybe, yeah, I think their plan is probably to Abrupt Decay Needle and then activate Wishclaw to get the win. So I'm going to have to trophy this Talisman in response to their Abrupt Decay. Or in response to a discard spell. They usually only play 2 basics, if memory serves. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, all of these are instants. Yeah, that didn't even matter. I just gave them an extra storm for no reason. Yeah, I'm dead. Okay, if I had figured this out, if I trophy in response to Past in Flames, then I win this game. Yeah, I just did not have the brain power to figure out what I needed to do here. Yep, they got me. Yeah, so they have Tendrils in hand and exactly 4 mana. Yeah, I definitely could have, if I had thought a lot harder about everything they could do. Yeah, I had the tools and didn't use them. So a couple minutes ago when I said, like, I haven't done the math, I'll let them figure it out, I thought that I just couldn't do anything, but could have done the math myself because this game was winnable. Whoops. All right. Live and learn. Okay, so let's talk about this deck a little bit. It needs to cut a color. The 4-color mana base just doesn't work. Like, we had some cool games where it came together, but it was against decks that just let me do my own thing. Like against the Epic Storm, where you can fetch non-basics at your whim, was fine. Against Maverick, where they're not really interacting you on the stack and you just get to play to the board, was fine. But got absolutely dumpstered. Cut off colors, cut off lands, like outmuscled by a sleeker version of the same deck. So I would pick either Bug or Bant and work on that if you wanted to do this sort of Field of the Dead Uro deck. My round 1 opponent's Bug deck with the Intuition package and Life from the Loam was really cool. So I would probably cut white and just try this as bug if I really want to be an Uro Field of the Dead deck. Make it Sultai. That said, I'm not even sure if this type of deck is where I would want to be, but it's certainly very cool. You all know me. I would err on the blue-white side of the grindy control decks. I would be the one trying to like find out how to main deck Rest in Peace and Blood Moon Field of the Dead. Like that's more my style than being the Uro Field of the Dead deck. But I do think this archetype has some power to it, and but the Arkham's Astrolabe Abundant Growth is not. So not a suitable comparison, not a suitable replacement. Multiple games were lost because I couldn't cast spells, even though I had Abundant Growth in play because it just was like on the wrong land or whatever. So I would cut a color from this. That's my final verdict. But thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Spunky, thanks for the list. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you all next time.